Welcome to episode 43 of the movie Lighthouse, shining a light through the fog of film. My name is James.
Wyndham.
Laurie.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how are we this
right.
March?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
Very well.
Did everyone beware the Ides of March?
Well, you have to, don't you? It's not something you can muck about with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't take it lightly.
No.
No,
And we're all still here, so I guess our precautions were well founded.
Absolutely. And is everybody coping all right with the last stages of lockdown?
Yeah. Can I just say
it's rushed up a bit, but yeah. I've got the cream for it. It's fine.
Can I just say the laptop that I'm connected through, I just turned the volume up a tiny bit and it just flashed up a message saying, "Your ears are important. Are you sure you want to go this loud?" It's not very loud.
I've been saying that for years to you, Wyndham. You pay no attention to it.
My iPhone, when I put headphones in, has started turning my music down for me.
What kind of music are you playing?
Oh, not very good music.
Siri's got a point of view.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So we haven't got any mail, but I think that's to do with COVID more than anything else, really.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah. But I've got quite a bit of news to go through.
Hi, hon. How's it going?
So I have been catching up with our friends over at Nine Lives who are making their horror anthology.
Yes.
Movie. And I'm going to be interviewing them next week. But they're kind of nearly wrapped with their shoot and stuff, and I've seen quite a bit of it. It's great, and
very
these guys are really flying the flag for new original horror. And I'm trying
just to remind everybody, this is the interview you did a few months ago.
Yeah. So it's Grayson and Ryan. But yeah, so there'll be another interview on the feed next week. And we're going to start promoting their film. Woo! So we're going to try and get involved in that, which is great. So that's very good. Cool. Anyone else got any news?
Does notable mention of an RIP count as news?
Oh,
yeah. But
I've got two because they were quite like, oh man. So I don't know whether you saw that Christopher Plummer has died.
International Velvet fame.
Well, he had. I had a quick look, and he had 217 acting credits on IMDb, and he was working solidly from 1953, and was still mid-shoot when he died recently.
Yeah,
as a prolific performer.
That's it. Plumber by name. He's seriously plumbed.
There was a great film he was in only a few years back where he played a survivor of a
Holocaust.
No. Well, I suppose so. But I was going to say concentration camp.
So kind of.
Kind of, I guess so. It was brilliant. It was just very, very good. But my favourite role, obviously, was him again with Nanette Newman in International Velvet, the sequel to National Velvet.
Yeah.
What's this?
What?
Lost Valley?
Oh, that. Well, that's just something.
Oh, just something is right. It's something else. Did you write this?
No, it was written by a character called Jack Delacroix.
Jack Delacroix. I don't know any Jack Delacroix. It's you. Oh, is it you? Oh, it isn't. Is it?
You like his style?
Well, he writes a mean seduction scene.
Does it turn you on?
Well, I've only read a few lines.
Read a few more, spoil yourself. You see, Mr. Jack Delacroix doesn't have my artistic scruples. He's only in it for the money.
Where did he do all his research? That's what I'd like to know.
Oh, he's been around. Publishers like his stuff, being men of taste and perception. They pay well.
They wouldn't pay enough to keep a horse in oats, would they?
They might.
And then there's your Edelweiss, isn't it? Edelweiss.
Apparently, he hated doing that. I heard him in an interview, kind of a little bit bitter that I want to say Jeanette Cranky. What was her name? Julie Andrews.
Jeanette Cranky.
Was Pitch Perfect. Yeah.
Apparently, Jeanette Cranky's she's a proper little goer, and like I think
you're mixing her up again with Nicola Sturgeon, Laurie.
Oh yeah, all right, okay, I'll retract.
And then the other sad news was that Yaphet Kotto died. You guys remember Yaphet Kotto? He played Parker in Alien.
Yeah.
He played Laughlin in The Running Man.
Do the
and
best
he
one.
was Kananga, Mr. Big from Live and Let Die.
In Live and Let Die, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant role.
So he sadly died a couple of days ago.
He must have been quite old.
Oh.
I'm not saying it's not sad.
But he had a fair gig. That's
He
what
did.
I'm saying.
He did all right.
Yeah?
Good at
And
it.
he's in our hearts.
Yeah.
Guess so.
Kananga.
Right. Right, I've got some kind of worrying news, guys. We've had a break-in in the
Go on.
lighthouse.
Has it got bigger?
Squatters in the basement.
Oh God.
Are you
Is that
talking
what that
about
news
your?
is about?
I went down to the autopsy room the other day. I went in there, and there was like Terror, the TV series The Terror, just
It's all
on
been
the slab,
cleaned up.
cold, dark eyes staring at me. It wasn't cleaned up. There's a freaking mess everywhere. There was a lump of hickey over in the corner, splattered up against the wall.
Did you not notice
was
all the
all
new
over the
rules on the
shop.
wall?
Next time you do that crap, clean up after yourself. But you obviously, you tore it to pieces. The Terror. Well done.
So we are gonna be moving our little spin-off show, the TV Autopsy. I don't know whether to call it the TV Autopsy or just TV Autopsy.
TV Autopsy. That's
Agreed.
right.
Our old friend and ex-presenter Nico, I was talking to him the other day.
Nico.
Oh, Nico, yeah.
He's still alive. And when he heard about TV Autopsy, he thought I was doing a podcast about autopsies that have happened on TV.
Oh yeah.
Very
So,
niche.
Very niche.
That's an easy mistake.
Anyway, so we're getting our own platform, so we'll send links to all of that kind of stuff. And we are looking, the next series we're looking at is The One. But anyway, you don't need to look for it because I'm sure those ladies will be promoting it so much that your social media will be full of links.
It'd be nice that you're getting involved with some.
I'm
feminine
trying
voices.
to touch my feminine side. But it's
Yeah,
right
very
at the
good.
back and I can't get at it. Right, any other news? Well,
Not for me.
No, not for me. I think the Golden Globes happened a minute ago, didn't they? And
Oh yeah, Oscar nominations are out.
Okay.
yeah,
But
and it
when-
seems like they've turned their eye to a little bit more sort of independent filmmaking, so a little bit more interesting kind of
So-
nominations. But I don't
really
know
have
any
a
of them.
choice.
I
Did
think
they?
it
They
was
have to look current and
first-
move with the
first-
times.
Yeah, well, I think what is it? First time there've been 2 female directors nominated for Best Picture or Best Director. Sorry.
Well, good
Um,
stuff. Do we know what the best picture films are? I want to know if I've seen that.
Yeah, Best Picture nominees are Sound of Metal,
Okay. Not
Mank.
Hold on, I'm not going to say I've not heard of these because it makes me sound like I know nothing about films. Right, start again.
So, Sound of Metal,
Mm.
Mank,
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Minari,
Oh, of course.
Promising Young Woman, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, The Trial of the Chicago 7. How many of these are there? Nomadland.
Well, in fairness, we can't go to the cinema at the moment.
I haven't seen any one of those films.
I want to see the one, the Chicago 7.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, isn't it?
Your friend of mine, Sacha Baron Cohen, is up for an Oscar for that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be very good, isn't it?
Mm.
There we go. All right, then. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Do you know that there's a new adaptation of The Running Man in the pipeline?
I didn't.
Well, you do now. Yeah, I think.
Who's
it's gonna-
involved? Do you know? Do you know who's in there?
Oh, look, I just write down a sentence. I can speculate. I think it's going to be a series. will feature elements from the novel and probably have a little bit of a homage to the 80s film.
Is this with Edgar Wright as director?
Most likely.
Oh, right. Great.
Writers Michael Bacall, Edgar Wright, and who's that guy? He's written quite a lot. His films are the film adaptations are almost always shit. Oh yeah, Stephen King.
There we go.
Stephen
Involved
King
as well.
Well, talking of Stephen King, I am continuing my obsession with Nosferatu. I managed to get hold of the series, which is 2 series, which is kind of an adaptation of the book. Did I tell you that I spent the whole time reading the book not knowing that it was called Nosferatu?
No.
You just did then.
Yeah.
Well, because it's the way it's spelled, it's like a number plate, NOS 482. So that's how I was reading it in my head every time. Didn't make that link. Anyway.
I remember. Actually, no, don't worry.
Yeah, go on.
I was at a pub quiz once, and they were like, I didn't know any of the questions like geography, politics, history. No. And then it got to the question, what newspaper does Peter Parker work for? And I leaned in to the person that had the pen and paper and went, the Daily Bulge. Because for years, it hadn't been on TV. It wasn't like, on the Marvel screen. So I didn't know it was the Bugle. And I've been reading it for years and years. I thought he was at the Bulge.
Well, I was reading the Harry Potter books. I thought it was Hermione. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was Hermione.
That's the one, something like that.
Yeah.
So there we go. So let's look out for that.
Hermione, that's the name of the DVD guy that comes round.
And I suppose we could just mention a little bit. Did everyone watch WandaVision in the end?
Yeah.
Oh, you sound disappointed.
I'm right near the end. Yeah, there's a wonderful moment, isn't there, where there's a reveal of a baddie, and it ends so
that's
great.
my favourite bit of the whole thing.
It's so cool, and I was like, oh man, I'm loving this. And I'm on the next episode, but I fell asleep because I
find it's the last episode.
I ate a big bowl of cereal and I fell asleep immediately.
So
yeah.
When you started this journey, very furiously saying how terrible it was. You and your wife were not going to watch this drivel, and then obviously you came back and said, "Oh, we love it, we love it, we love it." How are you feeling now?
Well, that's some interesting paraphrasing you've got going on there. I ditched it after the first episode. Louisa carried on watching it, loved it, and then I caught up and loved it. Brilliant. It's really good. It's so good that, to your point, James, you'd got over Marvel, you were done with it, and then they continue doing really good stuff. So Falcon and Winter Soldier has just come out.
Yes.
6-part series on Disney Plus. And we watched the first episode yesterday, and it's going to be good. You just know it's going to be good.
I watched the first 5 minutes. I'm not impressed with this ability, really. It's just
they're kind of crap characters, aren't they? But, well, Falcon is that kind of... You're all right, I suppose.
Yeah. And the Winter Soldier's Bucky, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was never a big fan of the Captain America films. They're a bit too political for me. Anyway, that's WandaVision. Anyone got anything else? Is that it?
That's it.
Thank God. All right, let's go in the beam.
Move on.
So this is where our lighthouse light bulb spotlights a particular wonderful film that we've watched recently. And let's start with you, Wyndham.
So this is a particularly wonderful film I watched yesterday.
Oh.
And it is Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
For those of you who don't know, this is another one of Nicolas Cage's prolific canon of work.
Hey, is he an honorary lighthouse keeper? Because if he's not, he should be. We haven't had one for ages.
It's interesting. We haven't had one for ages.
Should we
Could be.
Could we have him? We might as well. I mean, it's only us. We're the ones that decide. We could do it right now. Laurie?
I've always loved him before this renaissance, but yes,
let's put him on the wall.
That's it.
Let's have a sound effect.
So, let me read you. Have you seen it?
No.
Either of you?
I know about it.
The little write-up all the write-up, the synopsis is: a quiet drifter is tricked into a janitorial job at the now condemned Willy's Wonderland. The mundane tasks suddenly become an all-out fight for survival against wave after wave of demonic animatronics. Fists fly, kicks land, titans clash, and only one side will make it out alive. Oh, mate, it's just proper Nick Cage, and he doesn't say a word. He has zero lines in it.
Say anything.
Doesn't say a word. It's just it's bonkers. You just sit there the whole time going, "This is fucking."
And where did you watch it? What format? What platform?
It is rentable from Amazon.
A reasonable price.
Given that we haven't had anything to spend our money on over the last 12 months, fine. I think it was £5.49.
I've got a Just Giving page.
You've got a Just Giving page.
Alan's trying to tout out his crochet, so we might get some stuff for that too. So we'll be all right.
But yeah, Willy's Wonderland, Amazon Prime.
Brilliant. I'll definitely check that out. Laurie, how about you?
Kind of cheating. I was hoping to bring to the beam John Walter's Polyester, which is his first kind of studio film, where he's got his
now John Waters is like Mr. Pink Flamingo and all that nonsense, isn't he?
That's it. Yeah. With a beautiful little moustache, kind of a little bit perverted, bit smelly. Great stuff. But I didn't get around to watching it, so I can't talk about Polyester.
Oh,
I'd love to.
Well, there we go. We're moving on then. I am going to choose. I think quite a few, but all right. I'm going to choose Moonlight. Have you guys seen Moonlight?
No.
Oh, it's great. It's basically about gay gangsters in a nutshell. So it's about gangsters.
Gangsters in a nutshell.
they're tiny.
What?
I think it's based around. It's by the sea. I'm going to say Florida, it's quite. It's just I've never seen that.
Gay gangsters in a nutshell before.
Well, gay gangsters really on screen. I think, and they did it really well. And it's kind of in 3 stages throughout this guy's life. It's great. So check it out. It won an Oscar years ago. I don't know why you haven't heard of it, guys.
Wow. Is this the one with Mahershala Ali?
I don't have all the answers with me.
The Oscar winner, Mahershala Ali.
Fun, yes. And where did he win his Oscar? What did he win his Oscar for, Wyndham?
Probably this.
Yes. Well, I'm guessing it definitely won an Oscar.
So
he's on 2, actually, isn't he?
Oh, there you go. What was the other one for?
What was the other one
best
for?
Director. No, best film.
Green Book, I think.
Oh, I thought you meant Moonlight won 2.
No, I think it won more than 2. But anyway, sorry.
Okay.
So there we are. Willy's Wonderland and Moonlight. And not Polyester, even though it would have been.
All right, so On the Rocks.
Love on the rocks. Ain't no surprise.
Laurie, do you have a film or not?
Love on the Rocks. Well, we watched The Witches, the new Robert Zemeckis.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Witches. It got a lot of real bad press because there was a certain design that they did of the witch's fingers, which is actually very similar to a physical ailment.
Hold on a minute. I've seen this film. What's going on with the fingers?
Have you seen that?
Yeah. I thought
the witches, they have like these kind of sort of 3 claw finger things.
Right. So anyway. What sort of are you talking about? What ailment are you talking about?
I don't know the name of the ailment, but people do suffer it. They thought it was a very bad taste, the design and what they did on these witches anyway. So it's a lot of bad press.
I wasn't a fan of that, and I wasn't a huge fan of the design. What I did like was the kind of retelling of the story with the. I thought the aunt worked. The grandmother worked very well, and the focus on the child's grief, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, this is what I was going to say because it got loads of bad press. So I thought, oh, this is going to be Roxy, but it's not that Roxy. So I was going to say Mission Impossible 2.
It's not. It's not bad at all. It's not.
It's not that bad, is it?
Done. What have you
Robert
done?
Zemeckis, he's your Back to the Future, your Romancing the Stone, Death Becomes Her. He did all right, which is not too bad.
Yeah, all right, so it's not on the rocks at all then.
No, Mission Impossible 2 is.
This is why
It's
I hate you.
unwatchable.
All right, Wyndham.
I don't have anything.
No, me neither. I only watch Oscar-worthy stuff these days. Anyone seen any trailers for the trailer trawler?
Nah.
No.
No.
All right, fair enough. I keep watching the Candyman trailer. I'm very excited about that. I think it's going to work very well. We know that it's not a remake, don't we? And it's a continuation of the story and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're hopeful.
We're Movie Lighthouse. We know all this stuff.
I think it taps into a lot of stuff that's kind of, it's obviously been going on in America since the current conception of America, but it seems like, it's a good time for it to come up, I think.
What would we do without your wise words, eh?
Yeah, me too. Like, let's bleep that out. Jesus.
No, I am not editing.
Oh, I just have some mouthwash.
He's not even going to edit the bit where he said, "Oh crap, I can't say I don't know anything about these films." It makes me sound like I don't know anything.
No, I'm really not. In fact, I might edit some bits of you in being even more stupid, Laurie, from other shows.
I was thinking, actually, all the shows that we've done, we have covered some really, really cool films. We need to find a way.
All right, let's not start navel gazing.
Our back catalogue. We've covered
download any episode you want.
Crackers. Yeah, but I mean, like an easy way, like a library of like, oh wow, they covered that sucker. You know. Anyway, something to work on.
You mean like a list of films that we've reviewed?
Yeah.
Like a bibliography type thing of.
Like a bibliography type thing.
Well, I've got one on the back of my script.
Yeah, because the name of the episode doesn't say what films we review. But that's right. But
yeah, and people are just hanging off our every word and want to revisit us at every moment. I'm trying to find Halloween 3 on the list, but I can't find it anywhere. It must be.
It was the first Halloween special.
Knocked down, I think.
You sons of shit.
Oh, here it is. Number 59. The Lax. It's worse than Cujo.
Twat. King twats.
There we go. All right, let's get on with the feature. 2005. All right, so quickly talk about the ones that got away. I can't remember what got away. I didn't write it down.
You served up a ton of crap, both of you.
Oh, you are rude.
You really are rude.
You really are rude.
This is becoming almost unnecessary. So I suggested Constantine.
Yep.
Oh, good choice, Wyndham.
And you suggested The Pursuit of Happiness. Good choice, James.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice.
I had a little look through, so you could have. There's like Wolf Creek, 2005,
okay,
Broken Flowers, Exorcism of Emily Rose,
We don't like any of those films.
Brokeback Mountain, A Tale of Passion.
Yeah, that great cult film, Brokeback Mountain.
Batman
the rules don't apply. The rules only
know.
apply when you want them to apply, do they, Laurie?
No. I wouldn't have chosen any of them. It was actually a very tough year.
All right, well, let me give you a bit of information about 2005. In the news, there was Hurricane Katrina, and very sadly, the London bombings were going on. More positive news: Doctor Who came back.
Yay, with Eccles Cake.
Yeah, I mean, you watched that first episode, Laurie, and you said it was rubbish.
Rubbish.
Just goes to show what you know, doesn't it?
Exactly. I was watching it this Christmas. It's great. It's really good.
No, now it's rubbish, actually. So you really,
I've
got
it all wrong.
All right, now I found the music a little bit of a challenge because it was all a bit shit, I thought. Take that Ultimate Collection. Gorillaz, Demon Days, that was all right. Robbie Williams.
Yep.
Madonna, just a load of shit, really. So let's forget that. Richard Pryor died.
Oh.
George Best died. And Arthur Miller died. So there we go.
Oh.
And anyone want to guess what any of the top 5 grossing films were? Not cheating. Don't look down, Laurie.
Brokeback Mountain, A Tale of Passion.
No. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith was number 1.
Ooh.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire was number 2.
Uh,
War of the Worlds was number 3. The Chronicles of Narnia, number 4. And Wedding Crashers was number 5. Right, so what were you guys doing in
I quite like War of
2005?
the Worlds.
Was it a good year for you lot?
The Tom Cruise one. No,
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Oh, I've lost you.
Spill.
That was it really.
I think looking back, I think I probably wasted it.
The
I feel
year
like I wasted
or the decade?
just my life across that year. It's like I could have done so many things.
Would have been a contender.
Louise and I were planning our wedding. 2000.
Ah,
Oh,
great wedding,
that was
man.
a good wedding. That was the
That was a
best wedding
good
I've
fun.
ever been to, Wyndham.
I was on RoboCop table, wasn't I?
I think so.
I made the grade, man. What table were you on, Windy? Hyman.
Wyndham. Can't remember. All I remember was drinking champagne on the boat and then falling asleep under the table.
Oh, yeah, you did
Anyhow,
that. Oh, and you offended someone, didn't you?
I always offend somebody.
Yeah.
But I now go in with a disclaimer when I meet somebody new, and I say, most people either really, really like me or really, really hate me. So, it's a very clever thing to say because,
It is, isn't it?
yeah, because they want to be in the like category. So
You
then
put
they
the
make
pressure on
reasonable
them.
Exceptions. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're all fools. Right. Okay, so let's go to our first film, which is Sin City. It was obviously released in 2005. The director was Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez, and obviously also we had Tarantino there as well, I think. It was based on the graphic novel, I think, by Frank Miller.
Yep.
Music by Jake Debney, Graham Revell, Robert Rodriguez. The budget was $40 million American dollars, and it made 160 million American dollars. And there hasn't been a spin-off. Notable actors, we had Jessica Alba as Nancy, Devon Aoki as Miho, Alexis Beadle as Becky. Oh, shall we just nip through these? Let's see if there's anyone. Benicio del Toro was in it. Rutger
Bruce
Hauer was in it.
Willis.
Josh Hartnett was in it.
Mickey Rourke, Clive Owen,
Willis was in it. Clive Owen, Mickey Rourke,
The Hobbit was in it.
Elijah Wood. So there we go. So
Michael Clark Duncan was in it.
probably.
He was.
Oh yes, there he is. He played Manute. Let's have a clip.
Get in the car, baby. We'll just talk. It'll be nice.
You just gone and done the dumbest thing in your whole life.
The truths of Sin City will be shattered.
Let the girl go.
You know who my father is? You can't do a thing to me, Hardigan.
There'll be arrests. There'll be death. Nothing can stop this.
Time to prove to your friends that you're worth it now.
We'll fight the cops and the mob. We'll go to war.
This isn't some barroom, bro.
This is the bad days, the all or nothing days. They're back.
Well, that was a pile of shit, wasn't it?
Oh, well, look, come on.
Right, let's start from the beginning. All right. Do we like this film or not? I've obviously got cards on the table. I saw it when it came out, and rewatching it, oh, what a load of contrived, up its own art nonsense that
Oh,
was.
come on. You have to get into the swing of things. Can you give us a quick sort of synopsis of it?
Yes, go ahead, Laurie.
To shame on me. Black and white, noir, saxophones playing. You come into the city. Come into the city. It's like the old kind of Mickey Spillane kind of sort of detective noir, grimy gangsters, girls, crime, the underbelly.
Yeah, it's a misogynist dream of what the past used to be like if you were a private detective.
That kind of thing. And you've got to tune into that frequency to just sort of enjoy it, really. So there you go. And then you follow these various stories that kind of overlap to certain degrees. And
It'd be like a good Quentin Tarantino film.
A little bit like a good Tarantino film. I think, obviously...
Yeah, there's three stories, all interlinked, set in this very rancid city. And we follow the adventures of some heroes and villains. That's it.
Yeah.
Wyndham, what did you think of it?
I really like it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I didn't think you would actually. I thought you'd get your woke on.
No, I mean, the last comment I have on it is I'm not a big fan of violence against women.
Right.
There's quite a lot of that. But
And that's a good way to be.
But as a film, I think.
Well, I'm going to have to put my cards on the table and say I'm not either. Otherwise, my silence feels like I'm it.
I was just saying that from the woke perspective, it isn't. But I really like it, and I as I was watching it, I was kind of thinking. So these started as a graphic novel.
Yeah.
As did Watchmen.
Yeah.
And this feels like a graphic novel realized on film, whereas Watchmen felt like a film based on a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just had this completely, and part of that is the color palette they use. Part of that is
did they only have a very small budget for color?
But
well, no, the original graphic novel is stark black and white, and again maybe with the odd shot of red in it. But
I love that kind of the punchy of the red and then the gold, and just every now and then there are just.
What you mean that man that looked like a light bulb?
Yeah, and Manute's eyeball and stuff like that. It was. I really liked it. There are bits of it that make me feel queasy, but that's
you do
because I don't like depictions of violence and stuff like that. But
I can't say that I'm not disappointed. But
well, please do say you're disappointed. That's fine.
What about you, Laurie? When did you first see it, by the way, Laurie?
I went to the Cinemaplex because I knew all about Frank Miller. Big fan of Frank Miller. He did.
I think we all did back then.
Dark Knight Returns, didn't he? He wrote that absolute masterpiece. He did some great work with early Daredevil. He did 300. He wrote that. So great graphic novelist. He actually wrote the screenplay for RoboCop 2 and 3, which weren't so good. But anyway, so finding out Rodriguez was making this film, and he is the main director, but they obviously had to give credit to Frank Miller because he's, on the graphic novel page, Rodriguez is basically just lifting it and slapping it on the screen, and it works really well.
Filmmaking.
So went to the cinema, absolutely loved it. I just got into that saxophone. I got into that, that smooth talking. She was poured into that dress. The night was like a murdering dream on a whisper of a tomorrow's ass. These are the days when my backside is more important than a sunbeam. And it was kind of I love it. It's funny. It's great. And it's come on.
I think this is probably Bruce Willis's worst role.
Really?
He's had some stinkers. I'm not sure it's quite that bad.
Really?
No. I disagree.
I don't
he's
think
all right
he
in
likes
this.
Bruce Willis, but I think he's all right in this.
Yeah, he's all right in this.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
All right then. True story.
I was going to say, do you get the feeling this is going to be a short chat?
Right, now, come
on.
on.
Yeah.
Right,
that's fine. It's allowed to be.
Okay, I don't like film noir. I don't like saxophones. Quite like the cannibal story. I didn't like the prostitute hooker storyline much. And I thought the man with the head like a light bulb was stupid.
Right. So man with the head like a light bulb.
Great.
Yeah, man with the head like a light bulb. That's kind of Bruce Willis's arc, isn't it? So he saves this young girl.
Light bulb head is the son of a senator who is right at the center of the corruption of Basin City.
That's it. And he saves this little girl where the guy, this pedo fellow, is not quite a light bulb yet.
We're talking about Bruce Willis.
Yeah, this is Bruce Willis's arc.
Pedo fella, Bruce Willis.
No.
Saves a child, comes back 10 years later, and it's all over her. I don't know if that's appropriate.
It is a bit weird.
Weird.
A bit weird. But then so that's kind of his arc. And then you go into Mickey Rourke's one, who plays Marv. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I quite like Marv.
He's just this big, brutal, underworld enforcer,
revenge
assassin, isn't he?
Yeah, so he had a beautiful night from Blondie, and he goes out.
No. I think you'll find her name was Goldie.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Not the dog from Peter. Yeah, it wasn't that. But anyway, so he goes on a revenge. But then you've got Clive. Oh yeah, no, he's awesome. You did say at the beginning of this there weren't any spin-offs. There's Sin City 2 and Marv Comes Back.
I don't recognise that film.
Okay. But then Clive Owen's arc again is good. It's good.
Yeah,
It's
that was okay. To be honest, I got more into it. I've seen it before, but I got more into it as I went along, I guess.
Yeah,
But
it sort of dips a little bit at Clive.
watch
But
it all
I
again.
think-
Yeah.
All the villains, the proper villains, are great. If you look
Yeah.
at that, even if so you don't like Light Bulb Head, I get that.
Elijah Wood was
But
all right, I guess.
If you look at Elijah Wood, is a great weird
Brilliant.
little kind of psycho pixie.
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro is a corrupt copper who's so far the wrong side of wrong, and it's difficult to see him. He's always brilliant though. You've got Rutger Hauer playing. So he is the bishop, and he is the brother of the corrupt senator, and he's just awful. And his son is his adopted son is Elijah Wood.
You know, it's just like any soap opera. They all have these sort of links.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
not
just
clever. Nothing clever about it.
I still and actually your point on the whole kind of you didn't like the prostitute story.
No, but
I think it's quite interesting.
It
though,
became
because
it did become empowerment, I guess.
Yeah, well, there is that. There's it's not even an under theme going on about violence against women and misogyny, as you said. But then, right in the middle of this, you have in this corrupt city, you have a group of sex workers who run their part of the city, and they run it with brutal enforcement. Yeah. Everything is done their way, or you are going to lose bits of yourself, and they will assert their right to be with extreme violence.
You sound like you want to live in this city with them. You're both like big advocates for Sin City.
No, I think it's more I'd like to live in black and white.
Would you though?
No.
What's that thing of a world without any... Oh, it's not colour. Yeah, no, it would be a very grey world.
All of the women in this I've got a little note, they are incredible.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, I suppose it's just the way they're dressed and framed. You can be a little bit like, yeah, this is definitely a male kind of line. If you want to fight against that, you're probably not going to like this film very much. But if you can kind of go with that old style, these are the old days, the do or die days, I think Marv says, you kind of, you could enjoy it.
I think this film has not aged well. I don't think the effects look very good anymore. It looks very artificial paint shop sort of business, I think.
But I just... Sorry, Laurie, go.
No, I think right at the time it was, we're quite happy to be a little bit paint shoppy. I think it worked.
I agree. I think it is stylized in the way it is representing its graphic novel origins.
Yeah.
So I didn't look at it and think, oh, that looks a bit...
I think it was trying to be Pulp Fiction, a Quentin Tarantino film, but it pales in comparison.
It's a very different film.
It was weak.
Yeah. I think that whole sort of attitude, that kind of sort of boy film, a little bit geeky, that, Pulp Fiction, when that came out, arguably even Reservoir Dogs, really, but definitely Pulp Fiction kind of opened the floodgates for this film to be realised. You said that like 40 million they pumped into this. So they knew that there was an audience out there that kind of loved this kind of thing. And obviously they did, because they got like 100 million or whatever you said. But I think Pulp Fiction definitely opened that kind of sort of, that kind of sort of genre.
But because lots of people go and see it doesn't mean it's a good film.
No, absolutely.
But just on that, which came first? Sin City, the graphic novel, predates Pulp Fiction, the film.
Yeah.
By 3 years. So
as a film.
But Sin City influencing Tarantino
when
he makes Pulp Fiction.
I don't think Sin City. He's
involved. He obviously likes it.
Oh, actually, no.
Didn't he direct the scene? Didn't he?
Tarantino wasn't obviously much of a fan of Frank Miller, because I think I saw a little documentary where he was introduced. I think Rodriguez introduced Frank Miller.
He stopped him at a dinner party.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, right, okay," and he was just supportive of Rodriguez because Rodriguez wanted to make this film desperately. And
I think that was my superhero name, Robert Rodriguez.
And what was your talent?
I can't remember. Do you remember what yours was, Wyndham?
Were you karaoke?
Oh, yes.
I think you were.
That's a shit power.
No, you'd sing people into kind of coming to a standstill, and then you could, I don't know, do whatever you needed to do.
What was yours?
Mine was cool because I wrote it. I was Phoenix.
Yes, and for all of
Burst
you
into
who don't know,
flames.
which is everybody. This is what we used to do at university. We lived in our heads.
I wrote The Vexed Men.
Yes. Did you actually write it?
I did, yeah.
I would like to read that.
I don't know where it is. It went on email, so I don't. Louisa might have it. I'll see if she's got it.
If only there's a way to search for emails. Right.
And alas, there is not.
Anything else anyone wants to say on this matter?
I said no.
I mean, it is.
It does what it says on. It's very. There's no.
It does what it says on the tin. There's some of the lines in it. You do kind of go, okay, all right. They frame, like Laurie was saying, if you can take it for what it is, okay, this is part of what it is. If you're not willing to engage with that, and that's entirely everybody's right, then don't watch it.
Yeah. It's an elevation of nastiness as well, because obviously it's all cartoony and black and whitey, but then quite quickly, obviously, you get to the story of Bruce Willis and it's a paedophile, and it's
Bruce Willis doesn't play the paedophile.
I know, but his story is
related
to that kind of thing, and it's like, this is a bit nasty. So it does go a little bit deeper. It's a bit.
Imagine bad, nasty characters living in Sin City.
Yeah.
Basin City.
Well, is it not called Sin City?
No.
Oh, that's another error with the film.
But that's that kind of swirling around the drain in the basin.
Oh, there is a subtext after all.
You really don't like this.
No, I don't. But I'm happy for you guys to talk for a bit if you want.
I'm done.
Enough.
Yeah, I'm done. I've got a couple of lines that.
I haven't even got that. See,
right? I think a couple of lines that sort of frame this. One is when Marv is talking about one of the prostitutes. He says she's a dyke, but God knows why, because she's hot. Yeah. And then there's another one. Bruce Willis says, he's got something wrong with his hands, I think, and he says, as expert as a palsy victim doing brain surgery with a pipe wrench.
Goodness, both those lines are quite bad taste with them, I must say.
Yeah, they are.
I am surprised. Sorry. Right, should we score it then? Oh, yeah, let's just score it. Yes?
Yes!
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Performances.
Stop holding us up.
6.
8.
7.
Effects, Wyndham.
Effects, 7.
8.
4. Plot, Laurie. Sorry.
Cut out there.
Plot, Laurie.
What are we doing?
Plot.
8.
8.
5. Rewatch factor, 0.
4.
7.
Direction, Wyndham.
8.
7.
4. Cinematography, Laurie.
7.
3.
8.
Sound and music, 4.
7.
7.
Originality, Wyndham.
9.
Obviously, it's just taken from the thingy, but it is kind of almost is the thingy.
That doesn't make it unoriginal.
7.
3. The film makes it unoriginal. Enjoyability, 3.
7.
7.
Life-changing past or present, 0 from me, surprisingly.
0 from me, surprisingly.
I really loved it. I went to the cinema, saw it with my mate Luca.
We're not going to go through the whole review again, are we?
Big Frank Miller fan.
Time loop.
We were really pleased with the result. Me and my Luca, my man. You ask Luca, you say, what's the #1 rock song in the world? He'll say, Wanted, Dead or Alive. That's what it'll tell you. Life, change, past, present, 5.
Right. So I give that a score of 32.
Ooh, I give it 65.
Oh, shit. Right, wait. 11.
We don't have this problem with the TV autopsy show.
I bet you don't.
But
71.
right. So what's that then?
70. Sorry, I forgot that. It lands on me. So,
One job.
gives us a movie lighthouse rating of 56.
Okie dokie, which puts it. Oh, it's very near Halloween 3.
Halloween.
It's just below Village of the Damned, but above Scanners and the Strangers. So what was that score again? Sorry?
56.
56. All right. So let's move on to our second feature. We are going to go to the Appalachian Mountains for The Descent. Okay, let's have a clip.
Now just give me a smile. Juno, are you sure we're going the right way?
I've never been lost in my life.
There's only one way out of this chamber, and that's down the pipe.
I'm stuck. I can't breathe. Look, Sarah, you have to calm down. I'm coming back. Okay? Okay. Okay, move. Now! Now!
All right.
There we are.
It was released in 2005. The director was Neil Marshall. The story was by Neil Marshall. The music was by David Julian. Its budget was £3.5 million, and it made, at the international box office, 57.1 million. And there is a sequel called The Descent 2, which I kind of got a few halfway through, but it was a bit incredulous, really. And notable actors, I mean, well, first off, all-female cast, brilliant. Shauna McDonald was Sarah Carter. Natalie Mendoza was Juno Kaplan. Mayanna Buring was Samantha Sam Vernet. Saskia Mulder was Rebecca Vernet. Alex Reed as Elizabeth Beth O'Brien. And Nora Jane Nunes Holly Mills. And that'll do. So, there, I've got in front of me some myths and legends about the Appalachian Mountains. Now, are you guys familiar with the legend of Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. He's from there.
Oh.
How about the Moon-Eyed people?
The Moon-Eyed people?
Yeah, they're more interesting.
No, never heard of them.
Okay. The men who lived in rounded log cabins had large blue eyes and fair white skin and were sunblind during the day, emerging from their homes only at night to hunt, fish, wage war, and build their fortifications. So I think maybe that's where the idea came from that.
That is a little bit ties into the crawlers, I think they're called. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to start with the setting because, I mean, I think there's pages and pages of legends about the Appalachian Mountains and those forests and stuff like that. And it invokes a brilliant atmosphere, I think. And I'm going to put cards on the table again today and say I really like this film.
Goodness.
Yeah.
What about you, Laurie?
Do you want to give us like a little sort of frame it, synopsis?
Yeah, go on then. Off you go.
Wyndham.
You're not in charge! Laurie, go on, do the synopsis. People tune in just to listen to you do this nonsense.
Right. This is a film about the perils of extreme sports. You've got a bunch of women, you know, they're all friends. They're hardcore, man. These girls like do stuff. They go out whitewater rapids and, you know, they're all together. They do their thing. And very early on in the film, you notice that one of the girl's husbands, there's something.
Right, don't get that far involved. It's a load of people who go potholing.
Oh yeah.
And when they're down inside the wherever underground, some strange beings try and eat them.
Because they're stuck. They're stuck. They don't know the way. Their entrance gets cut off. So they've got to make their way through. These girls are hardcore. They're going to carry on. They're going to get through this.
No,
And
they're
you
not.
actually think,
They're not. Absolutely not, are they? They don't get through at all. They
Stop
become
it.
gibbering wrecks. All right. So I first saw this film in the Egremont years when I was living in a house shaped like a wedge of cheese. And I
Is that a type of cheese? Egremont. Sounds like it should be.
yeah,
should be, shouldn't it?
sounds like it'll melt well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, James.
Vicky will be there going, I can't eat it, but I might just might have a little bit.
Little bits.
Right, anyway, so yeah, I didn't know anything about this film, and I was very engrossed with the whole potholing. We're lost in the middle of the I keep saying
Yeah.
mountain, but they're underground, aren't they? Underground. And I did not know that exactly, because more or less, well, give or take a few seconds, halfway through, we see the first shot of the monsters, the strange inhabitants of this underground world. So it's kind of, I mean, it held my concentration easily without that element, but to kind of throw that in was like, oh my gosh, this is really very good. And I think it's got to be applauded for an all-female cast, which leads me to a question, actually, before we have to find out what you two guys thought. Can you name any other films with an all-female cast? No, because you're misogynist, because you like Sin City.
Oh, for God's sakes! You love that on me. I'm sorry, I haven't got the brain capacity at the minute to think. What ones are there though? Do
I
you
don't know. I'm asking you. I'm asking the
All
questions.
right, okay. Thanks for that. Cheers.
I'm sure there was a few out there. Little Women. How about that?
It's got fellas in it.
Oh, guess.
There
All right.
is some-
So, Wyndham, what did you think?
I thought it was all right.
This is the first time you saw it? You seen
Yeah,
it before?
first time I saw it. I quite like the setup, actually. I quite
Did
like
you
the
know what to
premise that-
expect? Did you know that there's going to be something happening?
I mean, I assumed, but I didn't do any kind of research to it beforehand. So
Right.
the setup I quite like is that there's an undercurrent that this supposedly really close group of women, one of them is married and has a daughter. And yet really early on, there's this inference that another one of them might be behaving in a manner with said husband that.
But
the
that's
rest of the group
quite,
might
that's
not
very,
appreciate. It is, yeah. And the important thing is the only male as a male in this film gets killed in the first 3 minutes.
I mean, it's a great opening. That I mean, we see it a lot now these days. A kind of shock accident thing. Very often, the person will be standing on the road, won't they? And a car will come zooming past and knock them flying.
His death. So they pull onto the wrong side of the road and they head on with a like a building lorry, and a scaffolding pole goes through and kills him.
That
And
happened
the
to you, by the way.
daughter. And the daughter.
And the daughter, yeah, and it put me in mind of Final Destination when
Yes.
that first
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Those that just, and this was back in 2005 as well. So, like you say, we've got used to that kind of thing, but back then it would have been a proper.
Just to
and it
say
caught me by surprise.
That situation happened to me.
You got killed by a scaffolding pole
Not
through
quite.
the windscreen.
But I was driving behind a lorry with that. I mean, in fairness, there were kind of pipes, quite about a foot wide pipes, just stacked up on this lorry, huge tubes, and they all fell off. I was driving a minibus full of young people going on the residential, and they all fell off on the motorway and were bouncing around. And my dexterity and skill as a driver, I managed to save everybody's life.
Well done. Did you get a medal?
Everybody's life.
No, I didn't win. Never mind.
That's the society we live in.
I don't like to preach about my achievements. How about
That's
you,
amazing.
Laurie?
So I saw this.
You saved anyone's life?
Probably without knowing it.
No, I'm sorry. Go on, tell me about the film. What's it?
Yeah, I saw this years ago. It's probably when it was, still love film, and you get a DVD through the door kind of thing.
Oh,
Put it on. Absolutely loved it. I'm surprised when you said it's right. I liked it. I mean, I think it's just really, really great, this film. So like you say, the way it takes you through right from the beginning. So straight away you got this massive tragedy. So you've got that girl set up. You know that there's something going
And
on with
also,
the other girl.
they don't dwell on it, do they? I mean, you've got the tragedy, and then we fast forward a year, and she's still really upset. So you know that year's just been pretty fucking
Yeah.
awful
But
for
she's
her.
getting on. She's meeting up with the girls again in the log cabin. They're going to go out, do a bit of potholing. Great. However, unbeknownst to the troop, the kind of one that's set up the potholing exercise, she's actually gone to a brand new, undiscovered apparently cave, and she wants to be a gift for her friend who's had this awful tragedy. For that they will be the ones that will be the discoverers of this cave, as it were.
Well, I don't know if she's that altruistic. I think she was more that she does what the hell she wants to do, and
There's definitely that as well.
in another way, really.
There is that as well, but I think her sincerity is genuine. She wanted to have a real moment with everyone that they are the discoverers. Yeah, this is a brand new cave. We are making history here. So you follow them in, and then beautiful shots of the caves look stunning, really, really great. And then quite quickly you're getting more and more kind of that reality of what potholing's all about, and it's like, fuck. Shit.
Especially when they start lighting red road flares, so it looks like you're in hell.
Well, yeah, but those
different light.
Those tight bits where you've just got to slowly wedge your way. Fuck. I would go.
I mean, there are certain things.
So obviously, so at this point, your experience watching it is already high, and you're like, whoa, okay, right. And then something happens where actually the way they've came in gets blocked off, and at this point you're already feeling very claustrophobic.
That was a little bit Indiana Jones, wasn't it? Though, as the things are to block off their route.
I don't know, maybe, arguably. I think it was done quite well. But so then...
So was Indiana Jones.
So anyway, they're in the third kind of section of them getting through. Now they're cut off, and it's like, right, well, that was our way out, but let's carry on. There's got to be another way. And like I say, these girls are very capable. They are a team, albeit, there's this little undercurrent story thing going on. But you think, actually, they could get through this. They soldier on, as it were.
It kind of goes to show that they trust each other implicitly, because
and they've got skills. They've
got skills
over that big ravine.
They're not being overly risky in their heads. They're not. The woman who takes them to the different. She's a different kettle of fish.
Well,
as a group of women, they trust each other. They, like you say, Laurie, they've got skills. They can handle themselves in these situations, and then suddenly it's like, you did what? You lied to us.
And her lack of doing that could have been. It's obviously the undoing of all of them, because they wouldn't be in that spot otherwise, and it broke down the whole team.
Yeah. So you're probably nearly halfway through the film, and then you get these kind of crawler things kind of appearing in the background, and the way the film sort of treats them, it's not like, it's a monster. It's kind of very much linked to an animal. It's kind of feeling them out. It's watching them. It's observing them. And the first time when you really see them, there is the attack. It's a very quick kind of knock you and run away kind of thing, testing them out, as it were, picking them off one by one. But obviously they get bolder and bolder as they start going down. But interesting little fact. So when they were making this film, the actresses, they hadn't seen the design of the crawlers, what they look like or anything. So they're very much focused, like the film is, on the situation that they're in from that claustrophobic kind of adventure escape perspective. And then on set, the crawlers just start appearing. They shat themselves.
I mean,
shat themselves.
Yeah. Big credit to the performers who played the monsters, because obviously it wasn't CGI. They moved well the way they were shot. And
there's a really, when you see those crawlers, there's a really nice use of different coloured light all the way through the film. Actually, when they're underground, you kind of have like a blue light for a while, then you go to red, and then when shit has got real and these crawlers are about, they go to infrared through their video camera, so everything's got this really washed out green look. And that's when you really get the full and it's always in that classic, it stood behind somebody and yeah, they're freaky.
Absolutely. So let's just talk a little bit about the other performances. What did we think? Look, I think they're all pretty good. I thought only for me that the Irish girl was a little bit too full on, a little bit much. But you know,
so but she's in it as the friend of Juno, who is the manipulative, lying friend.
Yeah,
and you almost think as if, and it's sort of painted in a way that says, so we used to be a big group, and then this terrible tragedy happened, and the group splintered, but she still needs to be the focus and the kind of guru for somebody, and she's found this Irish woman who she then brings into the group. You're right, it was a bit kind of, I'm tiddly-dee, so bloody Irish.
Is that Holly? We're talking about Holly.
Yeah.
But I'm not, look, but I didn't dislike her performance. I mean, she was reckless.
She was very reckless. I liked her.
But yeah.
But she and Juno represent that kind of a proper adrenaline junkie element that will go past the point of safety, where the others love their adrenaline, but they're well, let's be safe about it.
Right.
And those two are the kind of, no, we'll be fine. We'll jump without a parachute type people.
Yeah, I mean, and you really see that in the kind of the first attack when it all kicks off with the crawlers. It all suddenly kind of changes, and Juno's the one that's like, pow! She's got her little kind of climbing act, and she's slaying these suckers. You're like, come on, go, yes, and then she'll because you're shitting yourself as well. And then the thing comes up from behind her, she turns around and boom.
Yeah, and
actually, shit! She sticks her thing straight through her mate's
through,
and then it's like, whoa! And then you got the whole fallout of that.
Hold on a minute, go on with them.
No, I was just going to say, we're talking about performances. I thought the Alex Reed who plays Beth, she's playing a character who is sort of like closest to Shauna McDonald, who plays Sarah, who is the woman whose husband has died. She's like the emotional support for her.
Yeah.
And I just think she's really good. She's an English actress. And I just thought she was very good in that kind of, she had the right level of a bit of cynicism about, oh God, we're all going to get together.
Just talking about Juno's, and I thought the actress who played Juno was great.
Natalie Mendoza.
Yeah, she was very good. Look, we know that she was causing a lot of problems and the trust factor and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think it was necessarily her fault that she killed her friend. I mean, who sneaks up on somebody
absolutely
as monsters are attacking exactly.
She just said, yeah. But that's another great attribute to this film, because you do understand why she would have turned and gone fuck, and then boom, oh my God, and then you do understand why she couldn't say anything. Well, she feels like she couldn't say anything because it's just what? How do you get your head around that? She hasn't got any time to really process it and figure out how she would say that, because she's just constantly, being attacked, and she's in this situation. So, there's a real sort of, that's a separation of everyone now, and they actually physically get separated as well soon after that point. And I just think, really,
but there's also
really
I agree with all of that. You couldn't realistically, or you could blame her, but her actions to that point seem perfectly legitimate. And it's when we all assume Beth has died, and later on when the attacks are getting more and more, and like you say, they've all been split off, Sarah finds Beth and she isn't dead.
Yeah.
And then later she has to, the bit where Beth says, don't leave me like this. You can't take me out. You're not going to make it, but do not leave me alive for these crawlers. And Sarah has to essentially kill her friend, and then later she bumps into Juno and says, "Oh, did you see her dead?" And Juno lies at that point, and it's that kind of distrust on distrust on distrust.
Yeah, it's a difficult question to answer, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And legitimately, do you know what? I was almost certain they were going to die. I was certain, because she would have been certain, right? People being dragged off and eaten, and
no,
she would have been.
I think so. Anyway,
why didn't you check, James? Your friend.
But this film, like gore, guts, bum clenching stuff, tension, acting, cinema palette, color, and all that. Let's face it, this film is really good.
Yeah,
it's a very original, really good film.
Original film. and you know, lots of credit, and I mean, the credit should go to the female cast. You know, it wasn't a thing, but it became a really powerful thing.
Originally, it was going to be a mixed cast. You were going to have some men in there, but they decided actually you're going to get like that whole kind of men saving women stuff.
Well, that's kind of why I stopped watching The Descent too, because that's what it became, really.
Right.
I think.
Well, they decided just to rip that out. They didn't need that.
And also, Marshall, just to say that Sarah, that she was the main character, wasn't it? Yeah, and I mean, it was very ambiguous. Well, at the end of the original film, she was obviously, you know, you think she gets out, but she doesn't. She's just.
Yeah, so the American release, it cuts at a certain point. So the film gets to this point, and you think, okay, that's the ending.
Yeah.
And then in America, boom, that was the ending. But for a much better ending, that's not the ending. And then.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Great.
Well, so for the sequel, they kind of forget the bit that she's still in the thing, and she's in hospital, and it's been like 3 hours since she got out, and they take her back down there. You know, it's kind of like,
get back on the horse, come on.
You've had enough time to recuperate.
Yeah. So Neil Marshall.
Well,
I just want to quickly say, Neil Marshall obviously directed this. He did needed to be kind of sort of talked into it because he was a bit reluctant because he had done Dog Soldiers, he'd done some kind of horror stuff, and he didn't want to be sort of troped just to that. But when he read it and he looked at it, he was like, actually, this is really quite interesting. So he did it, and he did a really good job, and I think probably one of his best. But he did Dog Soldiers, Hellboy, the one that I liked.
I like Hellboy, the original Hellboy.
No, the new one.
I tried giving it another go, and I disliked it less, but it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, but yeah, Neil Marshall, he did well on this, I think, really well.
Sarah kind of falls into her. You can tell she's not she's not over the death of her daughter and her husband, and when it all falls apart down there, her survival instinct and revenge almost on Juno towards the end. Yeah. She's like, I'm fully into this. She's like lost in the dark.
Yeah, that's it.
A lot of rage.
Yeah.
Just one other thing. Who has a shower, gets in the shower, and then turns the water on?
Perverts.
Mad people.
Yeah. Who does that? It happens all the time in films. You know,
it will be freezing.
I know, it's ridiculous. Right, so memorable scenes. I mean, I've chosen the opening scene with the car.
Yeah,
it reminds me of my hero stuff.
Yeah, and I think the first time you get the green hue reveal of a crawler, and it's just behind. They're kind of Gollum-y a little bit at some point.
A bit, yeah.
Pre-Gollum, was it pre-Gollum or after Gollum? I can't remember.
So this is it's pre. Good point. 2005. Don't know.
Well, we'll never know.
If only there was some way to find out. But yeah, so first reveal of them.
For me,
right. Go on,
hello, come on.
I was just going to say, and Laurie, what about you?
No, you weren't. You totally weren't. You was out the door getting some yogurt. Right. There was once I was working. There was once I was working in an office, right, and I was just doing my work. I was very focused, and this little mouse crawled out from by my feet, and I stood up, and I let out a little scream, and went, ah! And I put my hand to my heart. I put my hand to my heart and went, ah! Like that, and then I realised what I'd just done in the pose that I just made. I was surprised. I was like, really? Is that what I do? And anyway, I found it quite funny. And then in watching this film, I experienced a similar thing. As when Juno was fighting those crawlers, she was kicking ass, and I was right behind her. And then Beth was also behind her, unfortunately. She swings around and boom, and my hand went up. I had to put my hand up, and I was just peeking through my fingers, and I was squinting my eyes. I couldn't. There's something about that scene in that moment. I was like, "Fuck, shit." You know, that was an involuntary.
Hey, I'm getting more squeamish as I get older. You know, looking at things going through people when she does her knee in and stuff. Is like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, when the Irish woman falls and she goes, "Oh, I think I've hurt my leg." Yeah.
Fuck shit. Yes.
All right. Anyone got any memorable lines?
I think I've hurt my leg.
Ha! I've got one. I'm an English teacher, not fucking Tomb Raider. That was good.
And there's also when Sarah, when the cave starts collapsing on Sarah, Beth goes back to get her, tries to calm her down. She tells her a joke. Remember the joke?
No.
How do you give a lemon an orgasm?
Oh.
Tickle its citrus. And for some reason, that was hilarious.
Very good. Laurie, have you got anything?
I don't think so, no.
All right, and the last one is, I think someone's talking to Sarah, and they go, the worst thing in the world has already happened to you. No, it hasn't.
Spoiler! I do quite, just, sorry to go on, I've just seen a note. When Sarah has gone full, I'm lost in the dark and I'm in survival mode,
so
she's just beating the crap out of crawlers.
Predator mode, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, she's hitting them with whatever she can find. And then she hasn't got anything to hit them, so that she just sinks her thumbs into one of the crawler's eyes.
Which wouldn't actually kill them. It would just blind them. And they're already blind, so I don't really...
You should try that out on me sometime. See if it kills us.
Right, let's score it. Performances, Laurie.
Fucking hell. I want to go heavy on this. Oh, fuck it. 8.
7.
7.
Effects, Wyndham.
8.
8.
9. I wanted to fill you guys out first to see how high you're coming in.
Cheating,
So
isn't
I'm
it?
going to bring it up now.
That's not how we score. So, Laurie, you're going to answer first. All the way through.
Although I fully think that's what James did on Sin City.
Right.
He heard a couple of 8s and he went, 2.
Yeah.
Laurie, plot.
9.
7.
7.
Laurie, rewatch factor.
8.
7.
3.
Laurie, direction.
So yeah, again, so the look of this film, that it was all on set, 21 sets they did, amazing.
They had 21 sets
8.
to go. 8.
7.
Laurie, cinematography.
Really great. 7.
9.
8.
Laurie, sound and music.
Pretty eclectic all the way through. It changes.
Not eclectic.
Well, no, that's not the right word, is it? It evolves, as does the film, as does the characters. 7.
7.
6.
Laurie, originality.
8.
8.
7.
Laurie, enjoyability.
9.
9 for me.
6.
Wyndham, life-changing, past or present.
0.
4.
I'm going to go. Now, this is a big one. It's almost like we need an extra category. I watched this. I'm going to buy it because I watched it and I think it's so good. I need to own it. I'm going to buy it. So there we are. So life-changing, past or present, probably about £8, including posting and packaging.
Give it 8.
So it's going to be, $8.49.
All right.
8.
Just gibberish there from Laurie. All right. And 74 from me.
59 from me.
Right. I'm attacking my numbers in a different approach now. I like to keep myself on my toes. I've never tried this one out. Let's see how quickly it gives us the result. 11, 15, 17, 21. So that would be 79.
79. I'm not sure mine is 59. I've got to do it again. But
what?
What a twat.
What a dickhead.
To other girls I've loved.
Fuck it. I was right. So that gives us.
Okay, walking through my door.
Can't use a calculator anymore.
Oh my God, you said you got it. What's going on?
I saw them come along.
It's a score of 70.6 recurring.
Oh. All right, so 70.6. Interesting.
I feel like I let you down there, guys. Sorry.
You did. All right, so
it
puts it just below The Phantom of the Paradise and Ghostwatch.
We have reviewed some great films, man.
So this is going to be number 26 in the rating, and just above this is Spinal Tap. So pretty good there, I think.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, no, see, listen, you said, James said to you, Windy Bum, did you like this film? You thought, yeah, it was all right. This film is more than all right.
I quite liked it.
This film's really good.
No, leave him alone. This is like
buy it.
workplace.
Go and buy it, listeners. If you haven't seen it, you will be doing yourself a favour. It's great.
Well, if they haven't seen it, we've spoiled it all completely for them.
Oh, yeah, shit. Sorry. No point in buying it now.
Right. Whose turn is it to choose a film?
Is it yours?
Oh, yes, it is. I wanted to see how honest my friends were. Otherwise, I was going to stab you in the leg with a walking thing. I've got the number. The number is... Oh.
Bit blurry.
Yeah.
Whatever you tell
Well,
us
it's
it is.
61 anyway.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Right, good. Okay, so 61 is... Spaceship Spectacular.
Ooh.
We are ready. So, Spaceship Spectacular, it's my choice, thankfully. So we'll get some good choices next month, hopefully.
If you choose the right ones, we will.
Laurie, what are your two?
No, I'll do one. I'll give you one.
We've just worked out in the break that Laurie cheats, you see. Laurie's a cheat. So go on, give us one then, Laurie.
I never cheat.
Oh, I've super phone, but I haven't.
See, because I've got three, and
yeah, so just choose two. That's the point.
Okay, my first one will be fuck it. Forbidden Planet.
Oh. Don't think that's going to play with my heartstrings.
So my first one is a little way away from Forbidden Planet. Event Horizon.
It's a bitch of a film, that one.
Yeah.
It's a bitch.
Laurie.
Then my two remaining.
I'll just choose one. It's not fair. That's
They both begin with an
There's no
S.
point in having the rules if we don't stick to the rules.
I need a bit of jeopardy. Right. Long or short? Just not in length of film or anything like that. Just reply to me, James. Long or short?
Twat. Short.
Silent.
I've just choose the one that you were going to choose.
It was going to be Solaris or Silent Running, but we're going to go for
you said
Silent Running.
Take your first answer, which is Solaris.
Okay, Solaris. It's this version. It's not the.
Well,
not the George Clooney one.
It's not the George Clooney one.
Go on, Wyndham.
And my second one is Moon.
Oh, wow.
With the always brilliant Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
And Zoe Barry.
Is that right?
The director, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he calls himself that anymore. Oh, gosh.
You sure you want to do Solaris?
Yeah, positive, because I want to choose Event Horizon and Moon. Sorry, Laurie. Event Horizon is one of my favourite films, and Moon, I think, is a nice, interesting little film. So I think it's for the best.
Yeah, well, no, good on you, man. No, I like that. I've just been like shut down.
Yeah. See that as punishment for all your reckless ways.
Yeah, I will.
Right, so
Did you realise now that James is helming two podcasts, you're going to get it double hard now, Laurie?
Both ears.
He just won't be able to get away with this in the other one.
Imagine my immune system.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd have to take all my attention and aggression out on you.
Love it.
No, all good, guys. Right, well, enjoy whatever you're doing. We'll speak to you all in a month if we don't talk.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go off and watch Polyester. It's smell-o-vision as well, so you like scratch and sniff at certain points.
Lighthouse.